There we are. We're live. Look at that. Me and J-Rod starting out today. How's that?
Hey.
How's that for? Oh, look, there's Phil.
Oh, we didn't give much time together, Tom. Sorry.
I know, but it was so sweet while it lasted, though, wasn't it, Jared?
Yes. We'll have to try that again sometime.
Right. Next time we'll do it for 45 seconds. Philip, how you doing, buddy? How is everybody?
Good, man. Good.
What's been going on? What's been going on in the other parts of the Taproot universe?
Phil, you look like you just
TCU, the Taproot Cinematic Universe.
I just got back from jiu-jitsu and I showered and now I'm on.
That's what I thought. You had that kind of look.
You do have that fresh from jiu-jitsu, freshly showered. It's kind of sexy, Phil.
Just got done trying to kill people. It's fun.
Look at this fucking guy.
Hey.
What up, everybody?
What's up?
Well, these are clearly not working, so whatever. Just hang on. I just got showered myself. Just got done doing some jump roping and vocal night, and just hanging.
See, I feel so dirty. Like I didn't shower. I showered earlier.
Same. I went for a relaxing cruise around the lake in a pontoon to try to shake off the stress of the day. So that's how I'm feeling better.
Wow, I went to fucking Walmart. Wow, that's
sounds like adding stress to your day.
Oh, I know. No, check this out. So I went to Walmart and I got cash back, right? And the machine didn't spit it out. And I realized when I got back in my car, like, hey, it never gave me my cash back. And then I had to go back in and wait for 20 minutes while they went and watched the cameras. And they're like, oh, yeah, it spit out after you left and the guy behind you took it. I'm like, oh, thanks. So that's why we're late. So I apologize.
And then you're just stuck? I mean, they can't do anything about it?
Yeah, it's only $40, whatever, but still kind of sucks. Like,
how long did it take them to find that on camera?
I mean, I was standing there for probably 15 minutes.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, no, I had everything pretty much dialed in where I would have been home right in time to jump on at 8:30, and that threw me off. So I was like, shit. But hey,
so why did it spit out late? Like, did you walk away too soon, or what?
Yeah, I must have. I guess I just kind of spaced it out. Like I literally, but I would do the text receipts, so that takes a while. So I stood there for a while, and I'm like, I guess I just spaced it out because it didn't spit out. So I'm like, oh, and I just walked away, and then I'm like in my car. I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't. I'm like, did it give me my cash back? And I looked at my wallet and I didn't have it. I'm like, shit, so I rushed back in there. And who does that? What kind of slimy fuck like just steals money out of the fucking machine?
Yeah, it makes me. They've been showing those videos of like people that are trying to steal stuff out of stores, and I guess a lot of places are just letting them run. So now people in the stores are taking it up on their own volition to attack the people that are trying to steal from them. Like there's all these videos out there of store cashiers and managers and owners just like jumping people that are trying to like push grocery carts out the door.
Walmart vigilantes.
They look like smaller stores like Walgreens and stuff. That's the ones I've seen.
So Walgreens vigilantes.
Walgreens bad.
I'm gonna get a
vigilante.
Walgreens.
You needed a vigilante to go after the guy with your $40.
I did, right?
Maybe that guy thought you were just trying to pay it forward.
Yeah, maybe. Well, hey, man. Hey, if the guy needed it that bad, good. I hope it helps him out.
He's going to do it to the next guy, and it's you just started a trend, dude.
Yeah, maybe that's a good. Phil, always come with the positive. That was kind of how I call myself. I'm like, look, it's $40. Like, hey, if the guy needed it that fucking bad, then he just steal it out of the fucking thing. God bless, man.
You made his day, dude.
Hey.
He's eating lots of Taco Bell right now.
He was going to kill somebody today, and now he's not.
No, he's not. He's got $40. Now I can go buy cigarettes and crack or whatever it is, crystal meth, whatever it is that he needed so direly that he had to steal my $40. So we got some special friends joining us tonight. Some of the cast and crew from Lydia's Castle is going to jump on with us, and I know some of you know Taylor. You're going to be involved. I'm going to be there. Unfortunately, you guys can't make it because it's a school night. But next Tuesday, June 18th, at the Vinyl Lounge in Nashville, they're doing a celebration of life for Jon Wysocki, and it's going to be a good time. So Cody and Tanya and a couple of the a couple of the crew from Lydia's cast are going to jump on with us in a second here and talk about that.
Yeah, I wish I could make
Cool.
it, man. That would have been nice, but yeah, it's tough.
I know it's a school night, man. The school nights are hard for you guys.
Yeah.
See,
I'm barely making this work.
yeah. I'm a loser. I have no weeknight agenda, so I'm like, I can go to Nashville for no reason whatsoever. So let's see. Well, there's Cody. So let's so what do we got coming up? We got
Capulet, Reverb,
Wally's.
Wally's.
Not in that order, but yes.
I did it in reverse order, I think. Well, no, completely out of order.
Yeah.
So that's what,
No,
June
it's all right.
28th, 29th, and 30th.
Yep.
Friday,
Read
Saturday,
and
Sunday.
ready. Yeah.
And then after that, we got Louder Than Life, which will be fucking dope.
Yup. Gojira and Korn and Judas Priest and
Who we won't see any of because we're like, I go to all these festivals are these like rad lineups, and it's like I never get to see any of the other bands. Like, you know, it's like we're always like we're the Sunday band, you know.
Yeah, right. We don't get to see the days.
We're always on like the cool new metal day, which is fun.
Yeah.
Always,
Don't forget, we're also up in Cadillac, Michigan,
yeah.
at the Bank Event Center on September
That's
22nd.
right.
You got the Rust Belt in East Moline,
Yeah.
Non-Point Head PE, Smile Empty Soul.
Yep, that sounds right.
and Simon Says.
Oh, you got something?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're on the Rust Belt show. Yep, Simon Says is on
So
the
good.
I know. That one's going to be fun. I'm excited about that.
That ad mat keeps showing up in my feed. People keep sharing and commenting on that one. That one's going to be cool.
I know. It's going to be a dope fucking show. I think that one's going to sell out like a motherfucker. And the machine shop we got coming up at some point, too. Make sure you get your tickets if you didn't already.
Yeah, was it
I don't think we're adding 3 more this time. It's just going to be the one. So if you miss out, that's it. That's all you get. One shot.
We're never
One
coming back to the
opportunity.
shop ever again, so you better
Never. We'll never be at the machine shop again. This is it.
Kevin said
Relax.
so himself.
this year?
Yes. No, ever. So let's see.
Ever again this year.
Never know.
And then we added, I don't know if that's announced yet. I don't think it is. So I guess I'm not going to mention that. So
Oh, yeah.
look, it's Tanya.
Hey.
Hey guys.
And they have really little cameras.
Hey, Cody.
Well, Cody's is big. Taylor's and Tanya's are little.
Super.
Yeah. They're doing portrait instead of landscape.
That's right.
Oh, let me flip it.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, now we're the big
Hold
one.
on. I'm gonna put it on a peanut butter jar. There we go.
Crunchy or creamy?
Creamy, Jif.
Good. I'm a
Choose
Peter
moms,
Pan.
choose Jeff.
I'm a Peter Pan honey roasted guy myself.
I don't think we can hear Cody. Cody, I don't think we can hear you.
Turn your mic on, man.
Otherwise, he's just pretty to look at, though, so it's all right.
Still nothing.
You know, there's 2 Codys here, too. Let me kick this other one out. There's 2 Codys here. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Try now, Cody. Here, let me kick you out. You can come back in. Kick. Get out.
He's
then
been
there were
booted.
5. And then Taylor was portrait again.
Yeah, my camera's being weird. I don't like this fucking angle.
There you go.
Oh,
is.
yeah, I think you have to log off and back on. Sometimes it does that to me. It does a weird
It's like it's off centered. It's weird.
So how's
I'll
everything-
be right back.
go ahead. You
It's
and then there were 4. Look at this. Now we're a proper Brady bunch.
there we go.
So how's everything going over there?
Hi, Tanya. How you doing?
We're doing okay. You know, when people ask like how we're doing, we just kind of say, you know, like we're here. You know, it's a roller coaster of emotions and a lot of questions, and you know, it's a big loss. You know,
Yeah.
so it sucks.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And yeah, it you know, it's such a bummer because Jon was gonna fill in those couple of shows for us, and it's funny the one that he was going to do. I didn't even tell him it got canceled because he passed away. Literally, I would had to. But that show he was going to fill in for originally got canceled anyway. So
Yeah, he's
oh, dude, he spent so much time learning those Taproot songs. Like literally, I would sit at his house and he would
Yeah.
just listen to the Taproot songs and like bang on his ottoman learning them. It was funny. I'm so sad he never got to like. I wish we could have at least like gotten him to come up and do a song somewhere. All those shows he was at, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, hindsight's always a bitch,
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely unexpected. It's a huge loss. It's weird, like it's when because we see Jon 2-3 times a week, 2 at a minimum.
Yeah.
We rehearse every Tuesday, every Thursday, and then we'd get together on Saturday, Sundays to just write, And it's been really weird because like when you're so used to calling and being so connected with somebody, and then to just not have that access anymore, like that to me has been like the hardest thing, is just not having access to him anymore, and I know it's such a selfish thing, because I know that, Jon is in a much better place wherever he is and not hurting, and, and I love that for him. But selfishly, I just wish I had just a little bit more time or to talk, or, one more jam, so.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about that kind of loss. You just never know. It's just like so sudden. There's no closure. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, you're not there. You look back at your last text and you're like, fuck. So that's the last thing I ever got to say to you was, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. I feel like, it's it's just so sudden, and it's just like, boop, boop, that person's not there anymore.
Yeah. He was a big part of who we were. When Cody and I lost Lydia and we started the band, it wasn't long before we moved to Nashville and we found Jon. And I really love telling this story. I have a really great story to share with you guys. So we never actually asked Jon to be in our band. When we lost Lydia and Cody and I formed Lydia's Castle during COVID, we were looking for a bass player first. And we weren't even interested in a drummer. And a friend of ours was like, oh, well, I'm jamming with this guy. He's like, and he was joking. He was like, he's from Nickelback or Stained or whatever. And he's like, you should come over and jam with us. And so we did. And the bass player, he ended up not sticking around. But Jon, he just kept coming back. And so one day I looked at Cody and I said, are we going to ask him if he wants to be in our band? And Cody was like, no. He was like, and if he like does or doesn't, are you going to tell him he can't be in our band? And so fast forward a couple of months, Jon eventually had gotten like the Lydia's Castle logo like tattooed on his chest right here. And I looked at Cody and I just laughed because I said, I guess he's really never going anywhere.
Yeah, you're stuck with him.
And so he's been there, like he had just been there ever since then. So just a cute little story to share with you guys.
That's awesome.
Like guys. I just showed up and one day and never left.
Yeah.
That is kind of true.
Figure out where I came from.
Yeah.
So there was never a conversation about him joining the band. That's awesome.
No, he just he just loved it. He just loved the music. He loved the energy, and he just kept coming back. And then once he got the tattoo on his chest, I was like, oh shit, he's really for real. He's never fucking leaving.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
We
Yeah.
do.
Hey,
Sweet. Hey.
There you
Now
go.
you're not just a pretty face anymore.
I know.
Yeah, now you got a pretty voice.
Now you have to hear me. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. Yeah.
good to be back home for a minute, but
Yeah. Yeah. You guys have been out playing a bunch of really cool shows, man. It's been awesome keeping up and keeping track of the big things that you guys are doing. Really excited for you guys. That's super awesome. Yeah, to piggyback off of what Tanya said, it's Jon just believed in what we showed him. We had a couple of demos when we first met him, and he just I don't know, he latched onto it. I think he latched onto it almost more than we did. Some of these songs that we showed him, we didn't know if they were anything at all. And he was just somebody that he, you know, specifically songs like Search for You and Phoenix, he just latched onto, and he just thought it was, I guess it was worth working on. So it was, you know, it was an honor to be able to have him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's weird not being able to pick up the phone. It's weird not having him here. You know, he had that kind of energy, that connection between me and him, just as writers, because that's the thing that people don't realize about Jon is that, yeah, he's a great drummer, but he was also a songwriter. He knew what parts were supposed to go where. He had this intuition about him. I mean, he had been doing it forever, you know, on a very professional level, on a very high level, and to be able to just get a piece of that from him and be able to experience that and experience, you know, what it means to do this on that high of a level with somebody that's been there and done that over and over and over. It was nothing short of an honor, and that's even an understatement in my opinion. But it was just one of those things where, like, you could, when you're playing, you could look at him, he would give you a look back, and he knew what to do at all times. He never overplayed. Yeah, he never overplayed. He never showboated. He never wanted to do a drum solo in any of our shows, even though I was like, dude, you just got to rip it, man. Just do like a 10 or 20 second, just fucking Jon Wysocki ripping it.
I know.
He never
would.
He never wanted
He
to.
never would. He was very humble, always checked his ego at the door. But, I mean, you guys know, y'all have been writing music forever. You know, that music chemistry, I think of it as like a music love language. Some bands, it takes years to develop that. You know, and what was cool was songs like Falling Into Place literally fell into place in 15 minutes. I mean, we just got in a room and that chemistry just was always there. And, you know, we will never have anybody ever like Jon, you know, quite like him, as talented as him. And, but we're thankful. We're thankful for what he's taught us, the time we did have, and the experiences we had. You know, we all played some fucking great shows together. You know, some really cool shows. We had some really great experiences, you know?
Yeah, the experiences are probably the best part. The off stage, you know, the times in the van driving us back and forth in Massachusetts or Michigan or wherever we were playing a gig at. And, you know, he was never a big fan of driving.
I was just going to say, he pretty much complained about that every time.
He did, yeah.
Before he was on a plane, like, fuck those guys, they can drive.
Oh, dude, I know. I was like, that motherfucker. He's just gonna take a plane everywhere.
But listen, I do want to say, like, you know, on a very for real personal note for a minute, like, thank you guys for inviting us out to play those shows. And I genuinely, from like my heart, like, I really truly mean that. Thank you, because you guys allowed not just us to come in and play amazing shows in front of a lot of people and get our name out there, but you guys allowed Jon to, like, relive just even a fragment, a little moment in time of that dream, and to ignite that fire within him again. And you could just see it radiating in his eyes. You know, he really cherished that. He loved that. And so
that was his element. He was very much
that's what he knew. That's all he knew. That's what he grew up doing for years and years. And so I just want to say, like, you know, thank you guys for taking us out with you and giving us that opportunity and giving Jon just that one last chance to live that, you know?
I know. Well, me and you talked about this, Tanya, too, and that was kind of like my, you know, the thing that gave me a little solace in the whole thing was, like, you know, we got to get Jon back out where he belonged on bigger stages, playing good shows, and, like, you know, we got to make the last year of his life pretty fucking awesome, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Imagine if you guys would have just sat at home for the last year, like, writing, you know what I mean? Like, fuck, you know, like, I'm so glad you got to go out and do that. And I wish it, you know, there could have been a few more. You could have, you know, ended up doing the couple Taproot shows, or even again, I wish we could have just, you know, hindsight's a bitch. I wish we could have just gotten him on stage, to do a song or something now at one of the shows. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and there's always going to be those shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but
I
the way
know.
the universe laid everything out and the timing we did have together was the way it was supposed to be, and it was absolutely perfect. And he really was, like I said, he was always very humble, very grateful, and he went out just doing what he loved to do. Jon lived a life, literally, a really great life, doing everything he wanted to do. So, but
I
you
was
guys
helping,
you guys were a big part of that. So I really appreciate that,
Yeah, really appreciate that. I mean, I was helping Shannon just kind of organize the garage, and I was going through a lot of his stuff, and just the sheer amount of memories that he had, touring all over the world. He kept everything. That guy was a freaking pack rat. But so many pictures. Tom, I know that you helped him go through his garage too. I mean, like there was just so many photos and memories that he had. There's photos of him with Dimebag Darrell and Vinny, and him with old stained VHS tapes, like just like weird like treatments for music videos, like where
aren't
they're
those crazy? All the treatments.
It's
and stuff?
insane, man. And you look at that because they have them like as like comic book panels almost.
Yeah.
But then when you compare it to the actual music video, it's image for image, frame by frame, exactly what they planned out. And it was amazing being able to see how all that worked back then, back in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Back in the like literally back then, making a video was like making a small movie. I mean, you guys can attest that you guys made some big budget videos. It was literally like shooting a movie. Like some of the videos, the stained ones are probably more, but I mean, again, even some of those Taproot videos are probably $250,000 or more.
Yeah, I remember Poem being 225.
Yeah. Wow.
I remember we made the Switched Inside video. That was $250,000. Like, video budgets were no fucking joke. Like some of those stained videos, those big ones were probably $2 million. Like you could have made a movie.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Especially, was it Fade with the one? Is that the one with the clock tower?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said that was the most expensive one, wasn't it?
That was the most. Yeah, I think that's what he said. Yeah. Lots of CGI, lots of a crazy amount of work went into that. But now
there's that one. There's one of them that Fred Durst did, I think, and the treatment's super goofy. And I remember, and it was like I swear to God, I think Fred wrote the treatment. It was like I'm sitting in John's office somewhere because I know I brought some of those in the office and took them out of the garage and put them on the shelf. And there was one that was like Fred Durst directed it or kind of worked on the video. And I remember the treatment was. It's just so funny reading those things, man. They're just so goofy, It's like we need this guy. It's just funny. I wish I could remember what it said, but it was funny.
Yeah,
one of our treatments was like these guys are in some kind of convertible going on the street, and they're all wearing sunglasses, and they are so cool.
Exactly.
Okay.
Did Fred Durst write that one?
Yeah, I think that was one. I think that made us rounds. That was probably the same one that Stain got.
Yeah, just pass it around till someone takes it. Yeah, we do look cool.
Sunglasses on.
Was there a guy walking away from an explosion?
Yeah, right.
It's like Tom Hanks and That Thing You Do. It's like, here, your shades. You're the cool guy. Jared, I'm going to give you a pair of Ray-Bans the next time I see you. And be like, here, see how the world looks through these. Yeah, John's garage is definitely. I tell you what, man, it would probably be a lot harder going through it now. Like I went through it with him, and it was awesome. But I mean, I couldn't imagine like having to do it now with Shannon. Like, fuck, that's heavy.
Yeah, I went through his garage once with him, and then recently once without him, and it brought back a lot of memories of actually looking through those same boxes and seeing the same photos that he would tell me stories about. He kept like all of his passes for all the tours that he did here and overseas. Like there was a bunch of ones from Germany, and it was just crazy, just a crazy amount of. His garage is literally memory lane. Like you walk in there. Yeah, it's like
a time capsule.
It's a time capsule. Like he still has like all of his old road cases, and it's something. It's something, man.
Yeah, I'm so happy I got to do that, man. It was definitely going ripping through it all with him, and again, same thing. Him like, telling the stories, and it was really. I honestly like now. I wish I would have been filming it. Like it would have been the coolest fucking thing. Me and him ripping through all these fucking boxes, man. So let's let's talk about the event in Nashville that you guys are doing.
Sure.
June 18th, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you got
Yeah.
the first letter right.
Yeah, I got the first letter right. I know it's not January.
Yeah, we are going to be having a memorial show to celebrate the life and love of Jon Wysocki on Tuesday, June 18th. The memorial show is going to be held at the Vinyl Lounge in Nashville, Tennessee. The doors are going to open at 6. The show's going to kick off around 7 o'clock. We're going to have everything from, videos in between songs. We'll have some speakers come up of different family and loved ones. And then the cool way how we structured the show is it's really going to go through the time capsule of different bands that Jon was a part of in his lifetime. So we have, a band called Save the World that he was a part of. We have Soil, we have Stained, and then we have Lydia's Castle. And we have Nashville musicians coming in to play these songs, along with members of Soil, some members of Saving Abel, All That Remains, Saliva, True Villains. It's just going to be a packed house. I think we have about 150 musicians coming in to play all of these songs.
Yeah, we made it a point to first and foremost, we didn't announce anything until we talked to the ones that were closest to Jon to have them pick their songs that they wanted to do for him first. So basically what it is, we picked a whole list of Stain songs, and we're having some of our closest friends, some of Jon's closest friends come in, and we basically put their band together for them, and they come in and they perform the song. They might have a rehearsal at sound check, so they might be able to play the song together once. If they can before the day of show, that's great too, but they get up there and they play it, so they learn their parts on their individual own time, and they come in and play it. And normally you would think that would be a complete train wreck, but we actually do these types of shows here all the time where, and we hand selected everybody that was on the show. So we only picked the most professional people that we knew could do this. And, and we knew that they would show up prepared, and, the whole thing is going to go over really well. But it's cool because it's a way for everybody to get involved. Us as musicians, I don't know of any other way that we can grieve other than through music and just be there together. Yeah. And we feel like Jon deserves this. Sometimes, I worry, is it too much what we're doing? Because we have a lot of stuff planned for this. But at the same time, it's no, it's for Jon. Of course it's not too much, No.
And the stage is going to be so beautiful. We're hoping to have 500 flameless candles on it. We're going to have a low fog machine that'll look like you're playing in the clouds, custom backdrop, custom drum head. The entire kit is going to be set up like his Stain kit. It is his kit.
Yeah.
It is his Stain kit. And then we'll have Zildjian is sending in cymbals that were replicas of his setup. So, the different drummers and friends that we have playing are going to be playing on Jon's kit. Jon's kit will be a part of the show. And it's just going to be incredibly beautiful. There was no corners skipped in this. I know Paul Crosby from Saliva, he has these, he ordered these custom
laminates.
Little Jon Wysocki, lanyards, and custom drumstick keychains. So everyone who comes is going to be leaving with something, and there's a place for everybody in it. There will be a backdrop or a banner outside for you to sign. We've got different people who are coming into tech and do lights and do sound and do media and speak and do videos and audio and visuals. And it's just going to be a place for us to all come together and just mourn the way we know how to do it best, and together. So we're sending Jon off the right way.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. And Taylor is actually going to be playing in it. So that's going to be really cool. He will be representing the Taproot family.
And of course, we got Tom as well. Tom's
Yeah,
hopping on. What?
Tom will be in there as well.
Tom, I think you're singing
Fade.
Fade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be good, man.
And
I'm
I don't
excited to
remember-
see that.
Taylor, what song are you on again? I'm so sorry. Spleen.
Yeah.
That's a freaking rocker.
That was the one that I wanted to do too. I was like that was in my head if I got to pick a song, and then that was on the list, and I was like, yep, that's mine. Let's go.
Yeah.
So.
And I believe that you're the drummer for that is Rich Redmond, which is also really fucking.
Yeah, I talked to him today. We finally connected, chatted about everything. We're solid. We're set. So I all is moving in the right direction. So.
Yeah, you guys all have a very solid crew with you, especially when you're traveling from out of town. Like Tom, I know you're coming in, and so all the musicians behind you, like Cody said,
I'm
like
a singer, so it's easy. I just got to come in and sing the song.
Yeah, you open your mouth, you make noise.
I know. As long as I have my shit together, and they're tight, that's the easiest to come in and sing this shit. Like when you're a musician and you really got to gel with the other guys, that's definitely the.
Are you guys
filming
anything with video of the event?
Yeah, so we're working on. Was your question about a live stream?
Yeah, either live stream or just recording it for posterity.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of different video recordings going on. The one person to collect them and edit it. But we are working on a live stream. We believe we have that locked down. Tomorrow we have a call to kind of go through the tech of that. And then we'll post a link for everyone all over to be a part of it.
Nice. That's
Very cool.
Yeah.
Who's all coming? Who's all going to be part of it? We don't need the whole 150, but
a lot of very professional musicians. A lot of them are local Nashville cats. But
I mean, it's got to be hard. There's no musicians in Nashville. That had to be really hard to put together.
I think the hardest part was dwindling down to the ones that we wanted the most. I mean, because there's so many amazing musicians here that could have pulled this off. But we went with who was close to Jon first. We let them pick what they wanted, and then we moved on to who we would like to see on the show as well.
Yeah.
But we have let's say Paul Crosby from Saliva. I think Josie Scott will be there as well. We're gonna do a song.
Adam Zadel, Tim King, Mitch Gable, all from Soil, will be there and playing.
Nice.
Yep, we'll have Jared Weeks from.
I love Jared.
Yeah.
He's such a sweetheart, man.
Jeremy Barber, he's a bass player, but he also texts for Three Doors Down. He's a great.
I know Jeremy. He's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, he's so funny. If you don't
That guy's
follow
awesome.
this guy on Facebook or Instagram, you're missing out on daily comedy.
He's a national treasure. He used to play in
he
Green
really
Jello
is.
for a little bit.
Yep. I think that's how one of the ways I actually got to know him was because of Green Jello. I played on stage with them once. I did the Three Little Pigs song with them, and I got to play the guitar. It was awesome.
That's cool. Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Bill
Jeremy's
Manspeaker, baby.
Yeah, Jeremy's one of those guys that he finds himself always in the best situations ever. Like he's met everybody. He's played on stage with Chris Cornell. I think he got on stage with Soundgarden, played with them. He's played with everybody, but he always finds himself in the best situations ever. Always meets everybody. He's friends with everybody. If you ever bring up anybody that you don't think that he would know, chances are he knows them. He's just one of those guys. We also have Matt Dice, bass player for All That Remains. I think he's actually the original bass player, and he left for a little bit, and then he rejoined the band for the latest record that they're putting out. I think
that new single is so fucking awesome. I was like, all right, All That Remains, y'all are back. And kind of the same thing, man. Like when Ollie died, that one was awful. I played a lot of random shows with All That Remains before Ollie passed, and you don't think when you lose certain key members like that, but then when this new stuff they're coming back with, it's like, oh shit, They're still here.
I mean, when you have Jason Richardson as a guitar player, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got Andy Herron, who is the drummer from Cavo. We've got Jake Johnson, who is Bon Jovi's bass player's son. He's great. We got Jamie Millard. He's the bass player from Slaughter.
I worked for them once in Biloxi, and it was them in Great White.
Well, he was your bass player, wasn't he?
Yeah, for a little Pink Bassman.
Yeah.
The guy that did the videos.
Some fill-in shows.
Yeah. He did that.
Yeah, he's technically the bass player for Mark's Slaughter. He played, I don't know if he still does, but when I produced Mark's record and was managing him, Jamie was the bass player.
Yeah, did he still have that pink bass? Like,
Yeah. Pink beard, pink bass, pink everything.
Pink beard, yeah.
Not pink shoes, though.
He's always posting pictures of him eating the spiciest freaking food on the planet. He's always like eating at these Indian restaurants, and he's constantly has curry going down his gullet every day.
Sure, his
insane,
digestive system.
Imagine the I was just gonna say, imagine the digestive issues that man deals with.
My stomach's like, damn you.
I can only eat Indian food
I'm like,
twice
so
a
what's
year.
your other favorite hobby besides music? You know, he's like, yeah, you know, like I like eating a lot of spicy food. And I'm just like, listen, I'm not your girl. Pepper is spicy to me. Don't ask me to go on a food date with you. It's not happening.
He needs to get his ass down to New Orleans, get some Creole and Cajun food.
But by the way, Tanya, that burger place we went to in
Murfreesboro,
I literally went back. The last time I went through Nashville, I went back there to go get that burger again. And it was just as good the second time. It's literally, God, what was the name of that fucking place? I had to go figure it out. I can't remember again, but it was literally like, I will say it's the best burger I've ever had in my fucking life.
Jack Brown's.
Jack Brown's.
Oh my God. They got this burger called the Brady. I get it every time. I'm going to sound like a fatty for a minute, but it's okay. Because like the burger has macaroni and cheese on it, potato chips, slices of cheese. Like it's just like dripping and it's just like it's so freaking good. Hey, what's the burger you got, Tom?
The one I got had like jalapeno jelly and like fried jalapenos on. They had one like They had one like it at the jalapeno at Wahlburgers, and it's basically that same burger but better. I don't remember what it was called, but it was amazing. And I took Jen there. Me and Jen stopped on the way. We literally went out of our way to go to Murfreesboro to go there and get that burger. And we
there's one also downtown now.
Is there?
Nashville. Yeah, so you don't have to go all the way that far south unless you want to, but there's another one now in downtown Nashville.
I'd actually rather go to Murfreesboro than fuck around in downtown Nashville. I ain't gonna lie, but my friend's skate shop, his record shop is right like 3 blocks away, so I kind of stopped in and saw him, and then I went and got the burger. But yeah, no, that place is great, man. If you're ever in Nashville, check it out.
So here's what's going to happen, y'all. Here's what's going to happen. Tom's going to be like, all right, I got you guys a show in Nashville. And he's going to be like, it's at Jack Brown's. And you guys aren't going to know what that is. And you're going to show up and be like, but really, we came here to all eat burgers together.
It'll be our own what the fuck is up Denny's, but it'll be Jack Brown's.
What the fuck is up Jack Brown's?
No one's done a Waffle House jam yet, have they?
I don't know.
Ooh, that's the Mecca right there.
I heard they're closing.
You know what's fucked up? The last time I had Waffle House, which will probably be the last time I ever have Waffle House, was the first time I went to Nashville to hang out with you guys. John picked me up from fucking Waffle House.
Smothered, covered in chunks.
It was awful. It was the worst. I forgot how terrible Waffle House was.
Well, depends
and I'm
what
like, oh my God, it was awful. It was awful. So bad.
I can't do that. I can't do the Waffle House. Now, Cookout, they're open till
All
3.
Star Special.
All about some Cookout.
The entire time, every time I come to Nashville, John would laugh at me because every night I would come back with like a giant bag of Cookout, like every night. And I'd be texting him and Shannon like, hey, you guys want Cookout? They're like, no. They're super like healthy, like kind of, yeah. Their freezer's all,
Order some tacos.
I was a bad influence. At least I tried to be.
Yeah, John would never let anybody. He had a weird thing about people cooking chicken for him. He would like anytime we cook, he would come over for dinner. We would cook chicken. He would be like, "Nah, I'm good." He would like open the chicken, make sure it's all done. I'm like, "Okay, man, I guess you don't have to eat it." But
Man,
he's always really picky.
You remember the time we played a show in St. Louis and we were so hungry. We went to what's that castle place? White Castle.
White Castle. Yeah.
Oh man, but listen, we were all hungry. So you can get like 42 sliders or something ridiculous like that. Like this family order. And like of course we only eat like 2 or 3. And then Corey, our bass player, slams like half the damn box. But there's still like a ton of these sandwiches left. Well, we roll up to the place we were sleeping at, and nobody took the box out of the car. Like out of the truck or van.
Yeah.
And the next day, dude, oh my God.
You literally,
It
when you
was
eat
the
White Castle, you have to go
worst.
throw it away immediately after you eat it. Period.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was like,
Unused
how
portion,
did flies
like-
get in here? Like, it's been in here for a couple hours. Like, what is
And this
going
was the middle of July too, so it was 90 degrees by
Yummy.
like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was fucking
So,
terrible.
oh my God, it was the worst smell ever.
John was so mad.
He was mad.
Oh, yeah, that smell does not go away. It will link, like literally, you have to eat White Castle and then throw the trash away like the second you're done. You can't even leave the bag in your car. Like,
No, you can't.
No. You almost have to like immediately evacuate it out of your body as soon as you eat it, 'cause it's like just so
No,
fucking
seriously.
grotesque.
I think we left.
That's In-N-Out burger for me, man. Lives up to the name. In
Oh,
and
yeah.
out.
In-N-Out's so gross.
In-N-Out.
Like In-N-Out, like that's the other thing. Like it just like when you eat In-N-Out, like you smell like that for the next 10 hours. Like
You do.
if I'm eating In-N-Out, I have to be able to like go get in a shower. I have to eat it in the shower. I have to like in the shower eating the In-N-Out.
That's
You have to
funny.
roll down the window so the smell doesn't get in your hair.
I would never eat In-N-Out in a
Like a
car ever. I
bonfire.
always eat in. I always eat in. I just We
What's up
lost
with their
Jared.
fries? What's up with their fries? I always feel like they're super.
Undercooked and soggy and
Well, they're real
no,
potatoes.
they're overcooked. They're like hard.
They're
It's
real
just
potatoes,
like
which throws it off because we're used to fake potatoes
Oh.
oh.
and
Wow.
modified for your taste buds for like McDonald's.
Fuck that real food.
I like fake fries. No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Five
Wow.
Guys, whoever just commented that's the shit. Five Guys all day long.
Five Guys isn't anywhere near as good as it used to be, though. The burgers are really small now. It's kind of sad because I literally, it's so funny. I used to go, I remember once, so in LA, there used to be one, but it was like an hour out in like the Deep Valley. I remember one time me and Ray from Fear Factory, I was at his house for some reason, and we drove an hour, like out to Santa Clarita or somewhere to get Five Guys. And this was like 15, 20 years ago, and Five Guys was just kind of starting. But it was so good then. I would go like hours to eat it. Now it's like there's one in town, and I don't even go there because like it's just not. It's not as good. It's no Jack Brown's. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I miss
Jack Brown's
Whataburger.
is top tier compared to all of those places.
Whataburger. How do you guys feel about Whataburger? You're in Nashville. There's one on every corner there now.
You know, I remember I remember years ago I was helping my uncle move down to San Antonio, and that's the first time that I had discovered Whataburger, and I remember thinking it was the greatest thing ever. And because I had got like a quadruple cheeseburger, which was unheard of at that point. And I think I ate off of that for 3 days, and I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And then when they brought one here, I wasn't for it, man. I don't know. I'm not about it.
You get that quality control goes down once you start getting it everywhere, man.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
happened to Chick-fil-A, I think.
I think
Yeah.
Whataburger, it really depends what you get. Like I remember I went to
Jalapeno
South by
biscuit.
Southwest, when I was like 19, I went to South by Southwest. That was the first time I ever had Whataburger, and I remember going, "This is the worst shit I've ever had in my life." And the next time I went back to Texas, it was like, God, it couldn't have been that bad. So I had it again. I'm like, no, it was. And it was always this thing where I'd always just go, it would be like 5-10 years in between. And I'd be like, it couldn't have been that bad. It's a burger. How can it be that bad? And then I'd get it, and it was. And then I had it somewhere in Phoenix or somewhere, and it was fucking great. But I got like this different barbecue burger that had different stuff on it. I think it really depends what you order at Whataburger, because like certain things are fucking nasty, but certain things are like, wow, this is really fucking good.
Yeah, their honey barbecue chicken sandwich, like it's just chicken strips on Texas toast with barbecue sauce and cheese. But man, I'll fuck with that any day. That was really good. But the burgers, I'm not hip with it, man. I can't do it.
So they have these things called taquitos, which are basically taquitos. You do that with the picante sauce, and you add like you get the eggs, you get the hash browns, which are just basically like the potatoes, it's like little hash browns in there, and you add like bacon or sausage. Throw the picante sauce on there, dude. That is one of the best things you'll ever get.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I've never had a burger from there, and I've had a lot of those things from there. Especially it's either late, like I think you go from like 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. or something. So either late night or early morning. It's awesome.
They're
called
I had no idea.
Breakfast burritos. Yeah.
I had no idea that they had that there. I guess I've never been there for breakfast, so I guess
right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's not the first thing that comes to mind when I think.
I was gonna say Whataburger is not the first thing I think about when you say breakfast.
I mean,
breakfast
I didn't even think
dope,
about them even
It's a good breakfast.
Yeah, Taylor's about it.
Yeah.
Good luck, Mike.
Yeah.
So, well, we'll pay tribute to Jon by talking about burgers for an hour.
Yeah. I remember there was one interview that we did, and we did this when we released our EP. We had somebody helping us book a lot of these different podcasts, and we took every single podcast that came our way, and some of these would be like really terrible. And there was one that we finally convinced Jon to be a part of, and it was a dumb interview, but he asked like. We got on a topic about the chili peppers, and we went on like a tangent for 5 or 10 minutes about the chili peppers. And he's like, "Are you done fucking sucking Dwee's dick? I'm so done talking about the fucking chili peppers."
It was like we were like recording, like it was being recorded.
Oh, he just said it straight up.
Sitting there like smiling and being like,
"Are you done?"
"Oh my god, Jon!"
He was
Edward
crazy.
Wysocki.
That's awesome.
There was a Bruins game on. He wanted to go watch the Bruins game, and he was mad that we were
Wait. I'm sorry. Back up real fast. His middle name is Edward.
Edward.
Yeah.
Jonathan
Shut the
Edward
fuck
Wysocki.
Jew.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
That's great.
I didn't even put that together.
I love that. That's that makes me love him that much more. That's amazing.
And so like we get off this interview and he's like, if you guys ever go on a tangent like that. More so Corey, funny. Because it's like Corey's superhero band, but
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, man, that dude loved some hockey.
and he sure did.
Well, he used to play. Actually, I found a lot of his old hockey gear in his garage the other day. He actually taught me how to like do a slap shot and shit into in his driveway one day. We were just kind of sitting there bored, and
no, it was the garage sale. We were doing an outside garage sale.
Yeah, it was something like that. But we had nothing better to do, so he just showed me how to show me a few things. And I had never seen him roller skate, but Shannon says that he was one of the best roller skaters that she's ever seen. Like he was just really, really good on blades, which makes
I'm
sense.
trying to picture Jon because like hockey, but I'm trying to picture Jon on skates, and it's just a really funny thought in my head.
Yeah. Apparently he was really good.
Yeah, he his parents wanted him to stick with hockey, and then he ended up going and drumming, and they ended up supporting his music eventually over time. But he was good enough to get scholarships to go do that in college.
Oh, wow.
He was that good.
Yeah.
He was that good. But I was talking to his sister recently, And she was just saying how much she just hated like some of her childhood, because it was like as soon as she would get home, Jon was in the basement playing drums, and it would be for hours.
Hours and hours.
And he didn't have those quiet V drums then.
No, no. And so I think, the one thing I really admired about Jon, and maybe this is just the Capricorn in him, but, every single thing that he put his effort into, he made sure he did it 100%. Whether it was hockey, whether it was music, he never like took shortcuts on the things that he was like really passionate about, and he was good enough to do hockey in college, and he came home, he practiced, he did the hard work, and then there was Stain, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, speaking of him putting his entire self into what he did, I mean, he was dedicated. He had this dedication to being a really, really good friend. There was a period of time where all of us in a band were, going through some really hard times in our individual lives, and he always made every single effort to always be there for us and check in on us, and which, I guess he didn't really have to do, but he did. That was just kind of the person that he was, and really, really good friend. And I liked that he didn't like to text. I liked that he liked to call. He liked to actually talk on the phone, and you miss out on so much of that nowadays with everyone just kind of tip tapping away on their keyboards and on their phones, and you kind of forget like how important inflection in your voice is when you're talking to somebody, and how important that actual human connection is, whether you're listening to somebody or whether you're shaking their hand or giving them a hug, or, that was one thing I really definitely took away from him, was that he definitely made sure to know that he loved his friends, and made sure that his friends know that he loved them rather. I don't know. He was just a really compassionate man, and you would think that somebody that had his life wouldn't. When I first met him, it was funny. When I first met him, we met him at our mutual friend Derek. We met him at his apartment. And of course, Jon was 15-20 minutes late. He shows up and it's like 9 o'clock at night, and he's got sunglasses on. And I just remember
He was the cool guy in the treatment.
He was the cool guy in the treatment.
But I remember having a moment, because I had always grown up with Stained in my peripherals, but they were never like a band that I was always, dedicating myself to listen to. So when I met him, I knew I respected him immediately, but it was kind of nice knowing who he was, but just being able to get to know him on a personal level, because I just knew him as Jon. I didn't know him as Jon from Stained. I didn't know him as, this guy that has lived this incredible life or anything like that. My first impression was, is this going to work? Are we, when we jam, are we going to actually meld together? Is it going to make sense for us? Are we going to be able to even stand each other? Do we even like each other? Because he was like a little over 20 something years older than us. He's 56 and we're 31, 32. So
we were in our 20s when we had met him.
Yeah, we were in our late 20s when we met him. So it was, but it was nice. He had no ego about him. I mean, Jon is Jon, he's got his personality, but he had no ego about him. He just wanted to genuinely be in a rock band, and he wanted to do it right. And he I guess he couldn't find it until he found us. And I guess he saw something in us, and, that was enough to just spark a relationship between all of us, between first me and Tanya, and then including Corey as well. He had no air about him. He was just a regular dude, as hard as that is to believe.
Yeah.
But
Yep, for a guy who sold 50 million records, he was pretty down to earth, you know.
Yeah. You don't really run into that nowadays.
No, and they always say like don't meet your heroes. You know, and I mean, like I said, we were never like starstruck about Jon. We just always accepted him as who he was. But there were so many times where other people had met him and he was their hero. And he always like made the time to talk to anybody, you know, no matter where he was, what he was in the middle of. He never pushed anybody away, you know, and his music just influenced so many people in this world. I remember telling Jon, because he's older, and I remember telling him, like, probably when I first met him, and I was like, he's not going to want to play with me after this. He's going to think I'm super freaking weird. But I was like, Jon, I just want to let you know that, like, when I was 13 and, like, It's Been a While was really popular, I went through my first breakup, and I cried to your song many times on repeat.
Yeah. Yeah. I have that memory of the what's the it's the second Stained record with all the hits with It's Been a While and all that. What's the name of that record?
Break the Cycle.
Break the Cycle.
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot that. I remember that being on in my stepmom's car every single day, going to and from everywhere. I mean, that I would remember the singles for sure because they're so catchy. But I just remember that CD being put on repeat in the car anywhere if we went out to eat with my stepmom and dad or anywhere we went. I mean, there was always a Stained song on the radio, and it's bizarre to think about that now in hindsight, and then fast forward to today, and I'm literally sitting right next to his drum kit. You know,
So you're saying your stepmom had better taste than you do? Is that what you're saying?
apparently, dude, I listened to some shitty music back in the day. Let me tell you, man. I've went through that period of having some really bad taste in music, but it was, you know, short-lived. Thank God.
Good.
Hey guys,
I don't
gotta
know
run.
about that though.
I got to run. I'm sorry. But hey, Tanya, Cody, so good to see you. I'm bummed I can't make it. You guys can continue if you know with this, but it's getting late. I got to eat first, and I got to get to bed.
No, it's okay. It was really good seeing you. Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you, Phil.
So good to see you. It was great to hear you guys talk about this stuff. It's awesome.
All right, we'll see you soon.
All right, Billy, I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
And then there were 5.
And then there
Garrett,
were 5.
you got to take off too?
I'm gonna have to be out of here in a second too. I just want to say I appreciate that the invite, and I'm sorry I can't be there as well. But I just want to say too, kind of my Jon take on things would be, you know, when we toured with Stained in 05, we had a number of pleasantries and, you know, talked a little bit here and there, but I didn't really get to know him until, you know, we kind of came to do shows with you all. And when he joined our podcast, that was probably the longest form conversation that I first got to have with him before we did the shows. And it was fun because I got to nerd out with him on a lot of really technical drum things. And I got the impression that it was funny that you said that whole thing about the podcast where he got kind of snarky, because I got the impression that maybe he was a little guarded at first, like wondering if, you know, we're going to have a bunch of stupid Stained questions or something. But I got the feeling that once he figured out that the conversation was going to be easy flowing, and then we just kind of talked about drums and gear and, you know, in-ears and whatever, and songwriting and Lydia's Castle. Like, I kind of feel like he opened up a little bit, like, this isn't just going to be another, like, so what was it like to sell da-da-da? And what was it like to, you know, be in the video with Aaron Lewis, you know? So, so I got the impression that he liked that we were in that environment where we didn't really care about all that other stuff. And, you know, we want to know what he was into now and know about your band and, you know, how he approached the drums and the new kit that he had. And what I told him was when I heard the Lydia's Castle stuff, I think it's the backbeat. There's something about Jon's backbeat where it just sounds like him. You know, there's different aspects about different musicians where when you hear him, you know it's them. And I was trying to think about what it is about Jon, but for some reason, I think it's just the way that he places the snare, and probably something about his snare sound or snare that he liked. It sounds like him when he plays, no matter what.
Yeah.
And even I think that your music brought out a lot of different, like, more complex fills. I think I'd call them hurtas on the toms that I never heard show up in his previous music. So, you know, like when I got to watch you guys play together, there's a couple parts in a couple of songs where I was like, oh yeah, I'm excited about that part. So I just want to say, thank you for kind of bringing that out of him. And it was an absolute pleasure to do all those shows together. There aren't a whole lot of bands that I can say that I went out and watched kind of every night when we did shows with them. And you guys are certainly one of them. And, for better or for worse, Jon is a part of that. And of course I would come watch more shows if you guys do more in some form or fashion someday. But yeah, so it's been a pleasure to be able to do these shows with you and, to get to know Jon, to your point, like just such a sweet, humble dude. And I think that's what a lot of people didn't see coming. I saw a short clip that looked like it had been circulating on a reel or something of him being interviewed on a podcast. And the guy was saying all kind of some of the things you were saying, Tom, like he had all the stats, right? X number of records, X number of number one hits, X number of, top 10 rock singles or whatever. And he's like, oh, so what do you think about that? And Jon just said, yeah, that's pretty wild when you put it all together. I didn't know any of those stats, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like, he doesn't know the stats and he doesn't care.
No.
Which I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, he has like all those plaques and everything. He never hung them up in his house.
Nope. And I gave him shit every time I went to his house. Like, dude, hang these up. Are you kidding? He finally hung up a couple of them in the old house, and he was going to hang them up. He was going to hang some of them up in the new house, and he never got around to it. No, every time I went there, I busted his balls about that, though.
Before you head off, Jared, so one of the things is obviously Jon really loved you and respected you. Like he was very honored that you asked him to fill in for you as the Taproot's fill-in drummer for some of the shows. But he thought it was the coolest thing when we would play shows with you guys and you would wear a Lydia's Castle t-shirt. And he loved that. He was just like, he just was over the moon about it. Like, he was just like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the support. And he just he really loved that. And, I appreciate you coming out and watching all the shows, and, we'll see where the future goes. But,
well, if it makes you feel better, he wears Lydia's Castle shirts when you guys aren't playing with them.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Well, that's cool.
Actually, in the Non-Point music video that just came out, Phil's girlfriend was wearing a Lydia's Castle. You can see it in the music video.
Yes, I saw it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just kind of chuckled at it. She texted me. I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, that's so funny." But yeah, it's always a pleasure, Jared, and I hope that we get a chance to maybe one day in the future share the stage again soon. But just Jon really valued you and loved you, and appreciate that.
Thank you.
So.
Okay. Good night.
All right. Bye.
And then there were four.
And then there were.
I hate to follow suit because I'm right behind. I gotta go eat dinner.
It's been a long fucking day.
I'm working on a job site that's an hour one way away from my house right now. So I get in pretty late every single night, and keeping up the ritual of playing guitar, vocal practice, and working out, and trying to hang out with Macy and my dog and cat. So
we love Macy. Tell her we said hi.
I will. She's actually grabbing our tacos right now. It's Taco Tuesday, and we have such a dope taco spot, like literally not even a half mile up the road from our apartment, and they do lamb tacos, all sorts of good stuff. But
man, how do I get a Macy? How do I get tacos?
Oh man, come up to Detroit, and we'll teach you the ways. Which, by the way, if y'all ever want to come hang out up here, we'd love to have you. It's a great spot for music, and it's just a good city, man. Just a good city.
Cool.
But I'm excited to see you guys in a couple of weeks. I'm really thanks again for the invite. It's weird to say that I'm over the moon about something like this because dude, obviously it's this sucks, that this is why we're all hanging out together, but Stained was one of those bands. I was 13, 14, around the time, and I was having it 4 years into my guitar journey, and like Stained was one of those bands that I was always listening to on the radio, watching their music videos, and for the most part, I never did the fangirl thing with Jon. We always just would hang out, have a joke, and if I was smoking some weed, he'd come by and be like, "Man, that smells great." And we'd talk, have a good laugh. And the one time though that I was kind of like, "Hey, here's my Stain story," it was just I'll never forget. It was the first time I actually had ever gotten to see them because, I grew up in the Bible Belt, and it took a long time before my mom was like, "All right, you can go to rock shows."
So your mom didn't have the Stain CD in her car?
She did not have the Stain CD in her
She was
car.
not rocking
It's like Our God is an Awesome God, or Kids Bop but Christian edition or whatever. So no, actually, my mom had really good taste in music, man. My first concert was Elton John, and she took me to that. So mom was cool. She was just scared of the heavy rock music, and she just didn't understand at the time. But she had taken me to Jackson, Mississippi to see Stain, and I was 14 or 15, but I very specifically remember Jon was playing this orange drum kit, and it just, I don't know, for some reason, like I was so drawn to his kit, to him.
He had those dope Orange County kits then, and they were fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, that kit was fucking nasty. Cause like, I'm a guitar player at heart, but like I play every instrument, and like I was like certain pieces of gear will catch my attention, and like that drum kit, I was like, oh, and he played Paper Jesus, and like the drums in that song are just so fucking cool. And because they were on the Chapter 5 album cycle at that point.
God, you're fucking young.
Dude, I was supposed to get to see them in fucking 2001, 2002, and I'm gonna give my mom shit about this on Taproot Tuesday. I still give her shit about this every time I think about it, but she did not let me go to Day Off Fest, and it was Linkin Park, Mudvayne, Slipknot, Stained, and Disturbed, like all on the record cycles that you would want to hear and see those bands on. Like, just, I still am pissed about missing that show, but that that was the only other chance I would have had to see Stained at that point in time with me getting into it. So just to get to know Jon outside of that, and just like what I think Cody was saying, like as just another human being and musician, and it was very cool to spend the time that we got to spend with him. So to get to come down and play, I would argue one of the coolest Stain songs I think there is. It's one of the heavier ones, and it's a fucking slammer of a tune. Like it's so funny. Like I do it every day, but like I'll just be sitting in my chair, head banging, playing, because I'm gonna do my best Mike Mushak impression while I'm there, and I'm gonna be jumping around the stage like an asshole playing that song. But you can't help it though.
You can't help it. That song rocks, man.
It's so much fun. So thank you guys again. It's a huge honor to come play for Jon. I can't wait to see you guys. We'll have to go grab some food and get some hang time in. So
some Jack Brown burgers.
Right? Fucking A.
We'll go do that jalapeno.
When in Rome.
Oh my God. I totally wasn't even thinking that, but yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. Very much, yes. Welcome back, Cody.
Yeah, my phone overheated.
perfect segue. I love you guys. I'm gonna bounce off of here and go eat some tacos, and take care, and I'll see y'all soon.
Yeah, see you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
Later.
And then there were 3. Apparently I have to do a countdown every time someone leaves.
Yeah.
So awesome, man. Well, looking forward to seeing you guys. Yeah, dude, it's so funny you were saying this. I wanted to say this. You were saying about Jon, like letting people fanboy out. One of the times I was staying at the house, like my buddy, he's a musician. He's like in a band, and he was, I think you guys met him at that show in the back of the store. But he's a super sweet kid. He just moved there from LA, but he's like in a band, and he's a huge Stained fan. John, he wanted to hang out with me, so John let him come over to the house, and and he just kind of fanboyed out on John, and John was kind of answering all of his dumb Stained questions, and he was so patient and so cool about it, and like, that was just who he was, man. It's like I got to, it's funny because we all have these different perspectives. I mean, I knew John in the context of Stained, but before they were famous, because I worked on their first 2 records. You know what I mean? It's like, and you guys knew him way after, and Taylor, Taproot kind of met them at the same time, playing with them and stuff. So it's funny that we all met John at these different points and have these different perspectives. You know what I mean? But it's, I mean, I said this before, but the first time I saw Stained was playing at a church in Santa Barbara, California, with literally 5 people there.
Really?
Oh,
yep. At a church. At a church. They did a show with Ultraspank in a church, and there was 5 people there. And then the next day, they opened for Kid Rock at the Roxy. And that was the first 2. And Kid Rock wasn't big then either. That was like, the Roxy. And if you've ever been to the Roxy, well, you've been to the Whiskey, but the Roxy is about the same size as the Whiskey. And yeah, Stained opened for Kid Rock at the Roxy.
Wow.
That's so cool.
It was crazy, man. Everything was crazy then. But yeah, it'll be so good to see you guys. And
yes,
hopefully the thing goes well. If you need anything from me, I am here. And so we might as well wrap this up. And I don't have any tacos. I don't have anything exciting to do. Everybody's got these exciting things to do. They're going to eat tacos. Everybody's got to get up for work. I'm like, I got nothing to do. So
well, hit us up, man, when you know what day you're coming into town.
I will. I mean, I don't know. I still got to figure everything. I got to figure out how the hell I'm getting there. I got to figure it out. But either I will be there. That's all I know. So, and then are you guys? Is there like a sound check or something like during the day? Are you guys going to be there during the day? Yes. Is everybody there kind of running through shit?
We will be there all day.
Okay,
sound
cool.
check will be at 1, and that's going to go. I think it's like a 4-hour sound check, so you can everybody can kind of come up and if their band is there, they can get up and rehearse their song. Usually just get like 1 playthrough. So just, I guess, obviously just make sure you know your stuff. But yes, you can come up there and come hang out.
Yeah. Like I said, I got it easy, man. I just got to sing. I just got to go up there and know the fucking song. You know what I mean? So that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We can't wait to see you, man. It's gonna be
man. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to seeing you on stage too.
Are you guys gonna play some Lydia's Castle stuff too?
We're gonna play our whole set.
So who's playing drums?
Well, we've got a special set planned.
Is it a surprise?
No, not really, but we haven't really told anybody either. But breaking news. We'll do a set with a different drummer on each song, but the drummers that we've chosen were very close friends to Jon, or people that Jon respected heavily. Yeah. So each song will have a different drummer, and then we do have one thing that we're not going to mention publicly that we're going to do. But we have a special little tribute planned for Jon, and of course the whole thing is about him. But
yeah.
Yeah. So yes, to answer your question, we're gonna have a different drummer on each song, but they're gonna be people that were close to Jon.
That's awesome. I'm still bummed the rest of the Taproot guys couldn't come down. I knew when I realized it was on a Tuesday, I was like, shit,
Yeah. We did that just because a lot of the musicians that are going to be involved.
Well, they all play their weekend Broadway gigs.
Exactly.
And plus the clubs are harder to get on weekends, but it's harder to get, the other guys who got to come from out of town on weeknights, Taproot, that's our whole thing, why we play the weekends, because those guys all work, super fancy day jobs all week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, someone's got to pay the bills.
Right?
Right?
Someone's got to do it.
Right?
Someone's got to make taco money.
Right? That's right. You got to make that fucking taco money. So awesome, guys. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you. We will text or something. And if you need anything, I'm here. Everybody else, good night. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
All right.
See you guys.
Talk to you guys later.
Bye.